To understand the Philippines, you must first understand a paradox. It is said that this is a nation completely obsessed with its own identity, yet perpetually wondering what that identity actually is. Ask a Filipino about their culture, and you might receive a passionate, hour-long lecture delivered with intense national pride, likely accompanied by a plate of food you didn't ask for, but are now required to finish. They fiercely guard their heritage, yet their daily lives are a masterclass in global synthesis. It is a place where indigenous roots, heavy Spanish Catholicism, and aggressive American consumerism do not clash. Instead, they have blended into a vibrant, chaotic subculture, where jeepneys are moving art galleries, and karaoke is practically a constitutional right. But this raises some fascinating questions that stump most outsiders. First, how did an archipelago in the heart of Southeast Asia become the most deeply Roman Catholic nation in Asia, mirroring Latin America more than its immediate neighbors? And second, how did this country manage to hold the undisputed title of the text messaging and social media capital of the world, despite its internet historically moving at the speed of a sunbathing turtle? We will answer those questions shortly. But first, let us enjoy the beauty of the Philippines in this brief montage. When it comes to location, the Philippines is a sprawling jigsaw puzzle of over 7,000 islands, anchored in the western Pacific Ocean. It is a tropical paradise defined by two settings, hot and slightly hotter with torrential rains. And it is currently home to a dynamic young population of over 115 million people. This massive population is the product of a deeply layered history. Before Western contact, thriving indigenous polities traded extensively with China and neighboring maritime empires. Then came 1521, when Ferdinand Magellan arrived, kicking off over 3 centuries of Spanish colonial rule that named the islands after King Philip II. Spain traded the islands to the United States in 1898, ushering in decades of American institutional and cultural influence, interrupted only by a brutal Japanese occupation during World War II. After that, the U.S. and Filipino forces returned to liberate the islands in late 1944 and early 1945. This liberation involved fierce urban combat, notably the devastating Battle of Manila, which left the capital in ruins and claimed over 100,000 Filipino lives. The nation was left with severe economic devastation before gaining full independence on July 4, 1946. But later in 1962, President Diosdado Macapagal officially shifted the national independence celebration back to June 12 to honor the true anti-colonial roots of 1898. Now, Independence Day in the Philippines is a national holiday celebrated annually on June 12. The historical tug-of-war we just learned about left the nation with 2 official languages. Filipino, based largely on Tagalog, serves as the soulful vernacular of the streets, while English is the language of government, law, and corporate boardrooms, making the Philippines one of the largest English-speaking nations on Earth. Colonial influence also dictated the country's spiritual landscape. Religion and spirituality are the absolute bedrock of Filipino society. Over 80% of the population identifies as Roman Catholic, practicing a faith that is deeply theatrical and woven into daily governance. Yet, in the southern island of Mindanao, a proud and historic Islamic minority has preserved its distinct identity for centuries, while indigenous animist undertones still whisper through rural folklore. You can see spiritual fusion carved directly into the Philippines' architecture and landmarks. The landscape shifts effortlessly from centuries-old earthquake-proof Baroque stone churches to the iconic Bahay Nabato colonial houses, all while modern glass skyscrapers dominate the skyline of Manila. Filipino architecture is a rich mix of indigenous traditions, Spanish and American colonial influences, and modern tropical design. It is shaped mainly by the tropical climate, frequent typhoons, and earthquakes. Living in this architectural wonderland comes with a distinct set of pros and cons. On the positive side, you have unparalleled natural beauty in the Philippines, an incredibly low cost of living, and a population whose warmth and hospitality are genuinely unmatched. On the downside, you must contend with bureaucratic red tape that moves at a glacial pace, crumbling urban infrastructure, and the reality that the country sits squarely on the Pacific Ring of Fire, making typhoons and earthquakes a regular seasonal guest. Now, let us return to the questions we posed at the beginning. How did this Southeast Asian nation become so thoroughly westernized in faith, and how did it conquer the digital world? The answer to the first lies in the Spanish encomienda system, which used the cross rather than just the sword to unify thousands of fragmented islands under a single religious identity. The answer to the digital phenomenon is rooted in the deep Filipino desire for connection. Separation is a core part of the modern Filipino reality, with millions working abroad as overseas Filipino workers. Technology became the ultimate emotional bridge, transforming a logistical necessity into a cultural obsession with digital communication. There is a drive for expression through arts and heritage in the Philippines. Filipino creativity is highly collaborative and adaptive. From the world-renowned wooden sculptures of the Ifugao people to the grand historical canvases of Juan Luna, the nation's arts heritage is preserved through a collective memory that values community storytelling over individual isolation. When it comes to storytelling, it is best heard through the native music of the Philippines. It ranges from the hypnotic, pre-colonial gongs of the Southern Kulintang ensembles to the melancholic Spanish-influenced love songs known as kundiman. Today, this has evolved into original Filipino music, or OPM, a thriving contemporary genre dominating the airwaves with ballads that require impressive vocal athletics. And if music is the soul of the country, cuisine is its beating heart. Filipino food is a complex flavor profile defined by the holy trinity of sweet, sour, and salty. Unlike its fiery neighbors, the Philippines relies heavily on vinegar, soy sauce, and garlic. The undisputed king is adobo, meat marinated and simmered to tender perfection, closely followed by sinigang, a sour tamarind soup that comforts the soul, and lechon, a whole roasted pig with skin so crispy it sounds like breaking glass. These culinary feasts are central to the country's traditions, festivals, and customs. The most prominent of these is the concept of bayanihan, the spirit of communal unity and cooperation. This spirit explodes into color during regional fiestas, such as the Sinulog, or Flores de Mayo, where entire cities shut down for street dancing, elaborate costumes, and endless banquets. For both natives and tourists, these celebrations dictate the rhythm of daytime and nightlife activities. By day, you can hike ancient rice terraces, dive in world-class coral reefs, visit parks, cool off in water spots, or navigate the chaotic streets in a motorized tricycle. By night, the country transforms. The nightlife ranges from sophisticated speakeasies in Bonifacio Global City to the ultimate equalizer of Filipino culture, the roadside karaoke bar, where cold beer and passionate, slightly off-key renditions of 1980s power ballads run well into the morning hours. Before we conclude, we must look at a few shocking fun facts that highlight the country's eccentricities. Did you know that the Philippines celebrates the longest Christmas season on the planet? Holiday music begins playing in shopping malls on the first day of September and doesn't stop until January. Furthermore, the country is home to the world's largest pearl, the Pearl of Puerto Princesa, weighing a staggering 75 pounds, found by a local fisherman who kept it under his bed for a decade as a good luck charm. In conclusion, the Philippines is a country that defies easy categorization. It is an intricate, beautiful, and sometimes bewildering mosaic of East and West, past and present, joy and struggle. It is a culture that has mastered the art of resilience, turning every colonial imprint into something uniquely, undeniably its own. If you enjoyed this tempting look into the Pearl of the Orient Seas, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our cultural explorations, and let your thoughts be known in the comments below about the Philippines. Thanks for watching.